Weekly is back, and this time it's all about action. For this episode, we take a look at the potential end of planet Earth and life as we know it, check out how Peter Parker is looking in high def, and whether or not an upcoming RTS can make a successful jump to the console. So let's kick this week off right with a special look at Command & Conquer 3 on the Xbox 360.
Hey everybody, so we just finished playing a game of Command & Conquer 3 on the 360, and as you can see, the two PC editors are on top because we slaughtered the Xbox 360 editors. So, yes, thank you. But in our in their defense, we have been playing the game for quite a bit longer than them, so we kind of understand the systems a little better as well. And, you know, that's kind of one of the things we wanted to talk about is the differences between the PC version and the 360 version, of which there are quite a few.
Yeah, well, I mean, notably the controls. Obviously, you're using a controller with this instead of a keyboard. And I had a little bit of experience with that Lord of the Rings game that came out a little while ago. And, I mean, this control is kind of similar. The triggers come into play a lot when you're selecting between units and that sort of thing. But I still had some issues when trying to pick certain types of units and that kind of thing.
Yeah, same here. It's you know, it's easier when units are in a big group like they were in Battlefield Middle-earth 2. And this one you kind of have to select individual units if you do want to select those individual units. And as before, it's kind of more difficult putting large groups of units in groups and control groups, and you're just kind of zipping around the battlefield a little more like you would on the PC version. So I think it definitely is still a little more difficult to play on the console and a little more fun to play on the PC, but
well, yeah,
they do a pretty good job translating it still.
I don't even understand why they try to bring this kind of genre to consoles. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. The controller is just not built for this kind of genre.
Hey Hillary, let's start moving up north. We'll row together. Alright.
Oh, and artillery walkers. We're completely screwed.
So one of the other big things about the change from PC to 360 is that they added a bunch of new modes to the 360, you know, multiplayer gameplay where that PC didn't have, like King of the Hill and Capture the Flag and stuff like that, and also the siege mode that you guys liked because you could build up your forces first and not get slaughtered by me right off the bat. But yeah, so I mean those additions were good, I think, and they actually are sort of consoleized, you know, additions to the RTS genre, which I guess would appeal to 360 players.
Yeah, I really like the siege mode. You know, you say that it gave us a chance to not have our asses get kicked so fast, but I think it actually plays into the whole controller setup a little bit better too, because it kind of slows down the pace of the game, and which the controller does naturally anyway. So it kind of fits more naturally with the whole style of playing an RTS on a console. So yeah, one thing you guys didn't mention is the use of the camera in the Xbox 360 version. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's sort of a gimmick, honestly. I didn't really look, well, I don't look at it when I'm playing this game. It's, you know, all my focus is on the field, so anything else that kind of interrupts the field of view can go away as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little extra, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing, but it doesn't really do anything for the game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the sweet victory box that we have right now.
That's true. The victory box is kind of nice, but you figure most people that get beaten will just hit continue real fast and drop out. But yeah, the game just moves way too fast to even be able to look at the pictures that are going around in the corners. I mean, I didn't really even notice it the entire time that we've been playing.
The only thing I would say that I really like about it is that this game was set up well for a group of 4 friends to play and play for an extended period of time, where you can just set up a lobby and then just keep going. You know, you don't have to quit out and restart. And if you have 3 friends, it's nice to go to this little lobby at the end and be able to talk to each other, set up the next match, and then go on.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you don't actually need the vision camera to be able to have done that. So, I mean, it is a gimmick, but it's not like they're selling the game on the vision camera.
No.
Yeah, if I could look like Michael Ironside while I was playing, that would be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
As long as there's Tiberium on Earth, not as a serious threat.
The pace in Command & Conquer 3 is really the same between the PC and the 360, which is kind of a problem because having a mouse and keyboard definitely allows you to move a lot quicker and do things a lot faster, so they don't really adjust for that at all on the 360, so it is a little bit hard, and I would say that playing the single player is probably more important for the 360 because you really have to know kind of what you're doing, how to build your troops, that kind of stuff, really have a handle on the game before you get thrown into multiplayer because you just don't have any time to think at all.
That being said, there were a few nice features, like just being able to click down on, what was it, L3 to snap back to your base. Like, that's something you definitely need to use, and I noticed there's a way to group your units, although I didn't actually do it.
I think it's kind of a roundabout way to do it, and that definitely, like, grouping your units is a big thing on the PC, like making sure that you have your right control groups and you can coordinate your attacks a little bit better. So it definitely, like, having it awkward the way it is definitely makes the game a little slower on the 360 than it would be on the PC.
Yeah, Command & Conquer 3 is a really fast-paced real-time strategy game, and the control scheme is fairly similar to Battlefield Middle-earth 2 that came out last year, but that Lord of the Rings RTS was kind of a game where it's more about turtling and building up a huge army, which fits really well for a controller because you don't really have to worry too much about fast actions. It's just all about building up to one big battle. But this game is kind of too fast for that.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to be on top of stuff. If you watch some of the the replays, if you play online on the PC at all, and you watch some of the guys who are really good at what they're doing, and the pace that they play at it's just kind of ridiculous. And potentially you could be as fast on the 360 with all the things you do. It's just a little harder to actually make that happen.
I don't actually think that's possible. I don't think it's actually possible to be as fast on the 360 just because, for one thing, just the controller and actually selecting units is a little bit touchy, like the cursor just kind of a little bit hard to control. I mean, I would disagree. I just think having a keyboard would be a much nicer option.
Oh, well, I'm not disagreeing with you on that point. I'm just saying...
Stop arguing with me!
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased, though, with the overall Xbox Live performance of this game, which is actually why we're doing the piece this way, so we can give everyone a look of exactly how well this game runs through Xbox Live. What do you guys think of it?
So far, I think it's actually pretty impressive, considering that you do have pictures up on the screen and voice over IP and everything going at the same time. Player cap is at 4, but that's fine. Most people don't play more people in a match than that anyway.
I mean, I was actually kind of surprised that when you get into really big fracases with 4 people playing online, that there isn't like huge amounts of slowdown. I mean, I'm sure Dan could say more to this, but it definitely doesn't look as good as the PC version. There are less effects going on, but that's all just so that it can actually work properly online.
Yeah, there are some things that are missing, at least on multiplayer. The smoke streams behind the missiles and stuff aren't there, but I think the game still looks pretty decent for the 360. It definitely doesn't look as good as on the PC, but I guess I wasn't really expecting it to. I still think they did a good job making it run so that it's playable, and that was actually one of the things that was so positive about the PC version also, is that it ran really well, and the load times were really good. Not quite as good on 360 for the load times, but it's still pretty playable.
Yeah, the control's really smooth, and from what I can tell, the voice has no real lag to it either.
Our base is under attack.
Just say stop a bunch of times. Hillary's a nice guy, maybe he'll stop.
Let's get this party started!
Hope you guys enjoyed our sneak peek of Command & Conquer 3 online for Xbox 360. Comes out next week, and we'll be back here next week for IGN Weekly.
Got a thing for mechs and aliens? Of course you do. Who doesn't? That's why the IGN crew hit Las Vegas in order to meet up with the guys from Petroglyph for an update on Universe at War Earth Assault. Here's what they had to say.